Hey everyone, good afternoon. Ryan talking from the Black Room here. How's everybody doing? Just wanted to jump on here and do a just kind of a part two, I guess you could say, on the trend day signal that we got yesterday. I thought that it was kind of cool that I did the trend day signal video yesterday, and then today we get the same setup. Right? So if you missed out on the trend day signal yesterday and you watched the video, then you should have been all over today because we got almost the exact setup. So we talked about a couple things that make up the trend day signal, right? So two nice red bars here on the Qs, which we saw similar price action back here. And if we, so this morning, looking at the 5-minute chart here, we kind of got some sideways price action, and then we got this nice convicted move lower, which was part one, identifying a convicted move lower in the Qs. We come into the 10:30 time here, where we set a low, where we set it around 10 o'clock, base sideways, and then about 10:30 we moved higher here, and then as soon as we made a new low here, we had a new low after 10:30, and we had a, whoops, just got another candle there. Let me do this again. So we had a new low after 10:30 and a confirmed downtrend after the initial convicted move in the Qs. Right? So as soon as we got this new low, trend day signal. Right? Nice follow through here. And then we just failed on this nice 2 and 5 minute downtrend here. Right? So if we go back and look at yesterday's price action, we actually bounced a little bit more than I thought, but as soon as we failed on this sell setup, I kind of felt that we were in for some sideways price action, and we did bounce a little bit, but overall, I mean, we were just kind of in some sideways price action here into the close, right? Now, we are setting a low here a little bit earlier than yesterday, so we have more time in the trading day. So I think that we are still in for possibly some sideways price action. We may absolutely make new lows, but what I'd like to see is some sideways price action and then a break either way. I do feel like since it's the second day in a row down today that we could get a move higher, but we could also very likely get continued weakness here. But from the trend day signal, this nice 2 and 5 minute trend here is now in question, and I have more of a neutral to long-term bearish bias here as far as the 60-minute, 50-minute, or sorry, 60-minute, 15-minute, and 5 minutes still bearish as well. So we'll see what happens, but this is the first sign of some strength here as we failed on this sell setup here. Okay. So we'll see what sort of follow through that we get here. But I just wanted to jump on and show you guys that we got, this is 2 days in a row, right? 2 days in a row, nice trend day signal. And so for me, just like yesterday, stayed away from the longs. Like the longs, the only long today that I think is on its own page, which we talked about yesterday, is this SGH. This is my favorite gap today, and this is the only long that I would consider playing today. As far as a professional gap up. It can look, if the market goes climactic, can look for some climactic longs, but this is the only thing that I think is clearly on its own page. So it's a very nice professional gap. Didn't really give an entry this morning. We talked about there was kind of a 1 minute buy setup here, but it was really sloppy, so I ended up passing on that. But this is really the only long that I would consider playing. All of this was on the watch list from this morning, but this is all. I mean, the rest of it I can just delete. This is the only long I would consider playing, unless like I somehow found a tier 2, tier 1 gap that was acting like the SGH that I somehow didn't find yet today, which I think is very unlikely. So staying away from the longs. And then on the short side, I only took 2 trades today. I took the IPGP this morning, which I ended up taking a stop on. And then I took the CUTR, which I'm in. The CUTR is trending nicely. Looks even lower under low of the day. We can look at that. And I'm still in this full size, the CUTR, and just holding it. And if the market continues lower, I've just been really kind of holding this all day. We still haven't broke a 2 minute significant pivot here, and 5 minute is actually setting up where if it does break low of the day, it looks like we can have another move lower here as soon as this chart loads here. Just give me a second. Come on, there we go. Okay, so 5 minute. If we continue to lower here, actually, no need to wait for the low of the day. It's 50 here. This base looks good for an add and reduce here, honestly. So we'll see what happens. Play this on a 1 minute, 1, 2, 3. So played it back here, and we'll see what happens with it. But like I said yesterday, if you have a short position, I'm just going to hold it. We got a trend day, so there's a lot to sit through some of this, but just holding. So the shorts I'm holding, the IPGP, whoops, 1 minute sell setup in here, ended up getting shaken out of it, and that's set to high. Posted a call to short it under this base. We ended up rallying, and I don't know, I just didn't like it as much, this pattern that's set up. So I did feel a little bit bad because we had a nice move here on the IPGP. This was a nice professional gap down. Had a strong feeling that if this would start to trend, it would continue, and we'd get a nice move lower. And unfortunately, I just didn't get the pattern to get in, which defines my risk and reward, right? Well, defines my risk primarily. Yeah, so I just didn't get an entry pattern to get into this, so I was a little bit disappointed. But I did play this once, took a stop on it, and the CUTR, even though it's up like 2.5 Rs here, it really hasn't moved as nicely as I thought it would. So I'm really looking for some continuation later today. The only thing I do know is that I am in really good position to take advantage of some continuation later today. So I have no idea what happens, but if this does decide to continue lower, I'll be in good position to capitalize on that, and that's what I do as a trader, right? So anyway, that's the cues, right? Another trend day signal, and we went over it yesterday, so just wanted to kind of recap on that. And if you watched yesterday's video, then you were able to take advantage of this signal that we got today, and yeah, just kind of stick to the short side, right? All right, everyone. I'm going to jump off here. I got to do a couple things before I moderate this afternoon, but I hope you guys have a great... Sorry, phone was going off there. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Looking forward to next week. Earnings season starts, and we will be back at it. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.